Hello, you beautiful gods and goddesses. This is Tawanda Van Celestial Earth Goddess, and I will be talking about the total lunar eclipse. Now, a lunar eclipse is when the moon passes into the shadows of the earth. What makes it a total lunar eclipse is when it passes into the earth, the moon that is passes into the earth so deeply that you only see light around the edges of the earth where the sun rises and sets. Now, during that time, the earth is also completely aligned with the moon and the sun. Now, what makes this a very important total lunar eclipse is the fact that there won't be another one until 2021. Now, for North America, we won't be able to visibly see one until 2022. That's kind of a long time when you think about what you can do with this particular eclipse. Now, during this eclipse, the partial phases of this eclipse will start around 10:34 p.m. tonight. And the total lunar eclipse will actually start around 11:41. Now, this is Eastern time. So, whatever time zone you're in, you know how to add or subtract. Okay. So, it'll start around 11:41, the total eclipse part. It'll be in the beginning, and then the mid stages around 12:12 a.m. and it will end, around 12:21 a.m. Now, the exiting phase of the eclipse will be around 1:41 a.m. tomorrow morning on the 21st. Now, there's another thing that makes this total lunar eclipse very major. There are three different types of moons taking place: the supermoon, the blood moon, and the wolf moon. Now, make sure, because I got this down, I want to make sure I get everything, hence the notes. Okay, I got that. All right. Okay, now, let's get into what makes this a supermoon. The reason why it will be called a supermoon is because tonight the moon will be very close to the earth, giving it a very bright, big, bold appearance. Hence the term super. Yeah, makes sense. Now, the blood part of the moon is when the light falls into the moon, and it makes the moon have a very red color, the color blood, or what we would deem blood. So now, depending on how scuzzy your atmosphere is, it might look a little dusty, but it's basically a blood shade. Now, the wolf moon, I believe this phrase might have been coined during colonial times. Don't quote me on that. The Native Americans would notice that the wolves, wherever the wolves were, they would gather and howl at the moon during this time in January. And supposedly it was to express their hunger. What they hungry for? Who knows? Maybe that's where all those werewolf myths came from. There's always a lot of truth in a myth. So that could be the case. Now, the astrological and spiritual significance of this moon is this particular moon will be in Leo. And as we know, Leo is the bold showstopper of the zodiac. It is a lion. You can't help but see the big mane, and they're gonna automatically take center stage. So anything that you want to manifest, it would be a good time to manifest it during this moon, because this moon is so magnanimous. Leo. Leo's ruled by the sun. The sun projects a lot of light into the world. Yeah, that's part of its job. It's an action, being that it's a fire sign, it's a very actionary sign. So, and this moon will also, because the light shines so brightly, it will shine in the shadowiest of areas. So, any feelings you have, good or bad, can be magnified 100 times. So, I would suggest if you have any issues with anyone, including yourself, or with anything, now is not the best time to focus on them. Now is not a good time to be trying to straighten up any negative situations, because they're just going to be blown out of proportion and you're not going to get the results you want. But if there are some things that you want to get done, some goals that you want to come into fruition, I suggest you do it during this time. The best time I would say to probably do to set these intentions probably be between 11:30 and 12:30, because I would say that's during maybe the peak of this particular eclipse and these moons. But I'm sure anytime during it will set you on the right course, as long as you focus on the right thing. So, whatever, if you want that job, I suggest you focus on that job. If you want abundance, I suggest you focus on abundance. And as we know how the law of attraction works, we need to focus on the result, not the how, not the process. The process is never as important as the results. So, make sure you focus on whatever you want and focus on it as if you already have it. Set that intention. One way to do that is to actually physically write it on a piece of paper. We still use these things. I know some of you millennials and Z babies don't know how to do that, but work with it. Okay. Put that pen in your hand and put that ink on that paper, because that's one way the universe knows that you are serious about your shit. You solidifying what you want out there, okay? Now, another way is just to make sure your mind and your heart are on one accord. Because if you're thinking, say for instance, you're thinking prosperity, but you're feeling impoverished, then you're not going to become prosperous. You're going to maintain your poverty, because your thoughts motivate your actions. Therefore, I suggest you get your feelings in check, and your thoughts in check as well. They both have to be on one accord. One can't be over here and the other one can't be over there. Okay? Get your shit right. Let's see. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Nah, I don't have anything else to say. As I said, I'm just going to reiterate what I just said. Focus on the things that you want to happen in your life, because I'm sure you want changes, great changes. So only focus on those. Put your intentions out there into the universe. Hell, if you want to do some rituals or whatever, light some candles, whatever, whether it's your cross is a part of your divination tool, crystals, candles, incense, water, whatever it is, you can add that to it. But just remember, you are the magic. Those things are just tools that you use, because if you, the beacon of the magic, is not right, then that stuff ain't gonna do shit. Okay? So, use your magic wisely. And until next time, my beautiful gods and goddesses, I bid you adieu.